Something I can do for you? Yeah? The colony ship? Are you talking about that old rumor? Some great big starship packed full of colonists what got lost in the aether never to be found again? Ain't heard that one since I was but a stripling. Can't say it was terribly convincing far as rumors go. There a reason you asking? Alright, easy now. No need to get your hackles up. Maybe you've been out in the sun too long. Why don't you head over to the cantina? Get yourself some zero-G brew. It's a brew that's good for what ails you. Look, I don't know what's got you caterwauling about hope this and colony that, but you need to stop, or there's gonna be trouble. Trouble's in the asking. Board don't much care for folk running their mouths, spreading hoaxes and the like. Frankly, neither do I. Something I can do for you? You run into any trouble? Reliable work from a freelancer. That's gonna take some getting used to. And I'll buy you a drink sometime. Oh, suppose you've earned it. One good turn deserves another. Abernathy was sick? With the plague? That's disgusting. I shook hands with the guy. What? No. If I knew he was sick, I would have had him reported. I needed his fees because of his name. A, for Abernathy. He was at the top of my list, you see? Yeah?
I've been feeling pretty low.
Hey, you hear about Wilson?
Hey there, Mary. Don't see you round here too often.
Yes, what is it? You're an outsider. Fantastic. Vicar Maximilian de Soto at your service. Or Vicar Max if you're the sort who prefers brevity. I so rarely get new people to talk to. Name your poison, anything at all. Spiritual counseling? This season's tossball predictions? The quickest way out of town? Mechanical tomfoolery is well out of my purview. I suggest you take such matters to Mr. Thompson in the cannery. Oh, and a word of warning. If you're considering wandering around outside the safety of the town, you'd best be cautious. The marauders I met when I ventured outside the walls might agree with you. Bastards snuck up on me while I was dutifully hunting for a banned book in a collector's library. Barely escaped with my life. But you see, one of the reasons I transferred here was to get my hands on that heretical text. If you managed to acquire it for me, I'd pay quite a handsome sum for the book. So you'll consider it? I do appreciate you hearing me out, and, your discretion. It's a handwritten journal, a faded blue cover with the name M. Bakonu handwritten in the lower corner. I'll mark where I saw it on your map. Assuming you're serious? Thank you. If you retrieve it, you can always find me here. Any progress on that matter we discussed? Please get it. A religious text deemed heretical by the OSI is an unsafe object at large, though I understand why a collector would desire to possess such a rare book. Because I'm also a collector of books. Rare things in this colony. Appreciation of the written word outside monthly periodicals is virtually unknown here. I've never seen you before, and there's been no paperwork indicating a transfer. Half the time it's wrong, but a new worker without paperwork? Unheard of. Also, you lack the distinctive worker gaze. Usually either a deadening behind the eyes, or in some rare cases, a wild-eyed frenzy, like a trapped animal. Oh, nothing could be further from the truth. I'm simply bemoaning the level of spiritual awareness in this town. Yes, but there are few who hear me in this miserable place. I must double my efforts to elevate my flock. These are good, hard-working people here. Yes, and thank you for pointing it out. It is wrong of me to succumb to distress. This place could be so much more, and I will continue in my quest to make it so. They who are not satisfied with their work are satisfied with nothing. No? How about, work fortifies the spirit. True exhaustion awaits idle hands. The OSI teaches that the Grand Architect set a perfect system in motion at the beginning of time. Contentment is found by accepting one's role in that grand plan. The Order of Scientific Inquiry, also known as scientism to the layperson. You don't talk to the Grand Architect. Once the universe was set in motion, it stepped back. It has no concern for us. We will eventually decode the plan and all its intricacies. Once we are able to deduce the properties of every particle in the universe and its trajectory, we will know everything. the future, the past, each person's place within the plan, all will be laid out before us, removing struggle and bringing peace. No one will ever need question their path again. Some even believe this ultimate knowledge will unlock mankind's true potential, and we will all become akin to grand architects ourselves, after a fashion. Well, first there's the matter of the secret blood rites and animal sacrifices. I'm kidding. Seriously, though, to truly understand the metaphysics involved takes years of study and contemplation. Any progress on that matter we discussed? Wonderful. This is fantastic. Well worth all the sacrifices I... Wait. What the fuck is this? Is this French? I can't fucking read French. It's a law-forsaken joke is what it is. French. Ha! I was so high and mighty, preaching to the yokels about following the plan, while fighting it at every turn. Well, yes. But I assure you, it was not for personal gain, only for the greater good. I've spent my life searching for the keys to unlocking the secrets of the universal equation that underlies the plan. I had hoped this book held some of those answers. I became so desperate, I even got myself assigned to this plague-ridden backwater to find the damn thing. All the time and suffering I've spent. Wasted. Please. As if my life should have no greater meaning than proselytizing to a bunch of feeble-minded wretches. Nothing could be more excruciating than discussing the true nature of reality with people who have no interest beyond their next Aetherwave program. But that's neither here nor there. What I need to do now is to find a translator, obviously. But to do that, I'll first need to secure transport. You have a ship. Perhaps I could make myself of use to your crew. Certainly. I already gave you most of my money, but I can offer you free spiritual counseling, and I'd be happy to watch your back. I'm pretty handy with a toss-ball stick, or any blunt instrument, really. I'm also a passable gun hand, if it comes to that. I can usually talk my way out of conflict, though. Oh, I'm fairly competent at hacking computers as well. Fantastic. Let me get my things in order, and I'll catch up with you. I shall see you on the ship, Captain, whenever you're ready to leave Emerald Vale.
Miss Holcomb, I need you to explain this big lesson with the grease monkey, Argo.
I'm sorry, Mr. Thompson, sir. You asked why it's taking so long to fix. The answer's technical.
Don't apologize. Just try using small words for me.
The cans...
Seems we've got a guest. Really now, Parvati, I do wish you'd spoken up. I do apologize. I was given no forewarning of your arrival, or I might have welcomed you at the gates myself. You were saying, Miss Holcomb.
It's just what Bess needs is a proper refurbish. I can bandage her up and what all, but she's just... old. Sorry, I'm sorry. I'll do better.
And I do wish you'd stop referring to our cannery as Bess. Personification of company property is strictly contrary to the Spacer's Choice Code of Conduct. My apologies. I am not in the habit of allowing my guests to witness such a row. Now, what can I do for you? I'm Reed Thompson, Outpost Administrator. I must say, wearing a Marauder's outfit is in very poor taste. I do wish you'd show your uniform a little more respect. Of course not. I don't have that kind of luck. Seems I allowed my excitement to run away with my wits. Been a few seasons since we've had a visitor pass through.
Only regulator we got is hooked up to the town transformer. Mr. Thompson ain't liable to be keen on dismantling it.
I beg your pardon. I am most emphatically not keen on any such thing. I can't let you have our power regulator. But I happen to know of another one. And I happen to know exactly how you may retrieve it without frying yourself in the process. There's a power regulator in the old botanical lab. It's mostly abandoned, so all that power is being squandered. Go down to the geothermal plant. Reroute power from the botanical district over to us. Once their power's shut down, you can have their regulator and be along on your way. I was not entirely sure how to tell you this. The botanical labs are not legally inhabited, but there are people who live there. The people living in the botanical labs. They're deserters, former workers. I need them back at their posts. I need them to come home. My hope is that by cutting off their power, you will convince those deserters to come back to town. Before you go to the plant, I want you to stop by the botanical lab. Speak to their leader, Adelaide. Tell her the power's about to go, and that it's time her band of deserters came back to town. Adelaide's older than the other deserters. She's dignified, kindly. From what I understand, her camp looks to her for leadership. That is not a hypothetical I enjoy entertaining. We need Adelaide back. Nonetheless, I will settle for the return of her followers. We belong to one community, the Spacer's Choice family. If we dissolve into factions, then we will all perish separately. Adelaide will understand that.
My dad told me all about the plant. Taught me all he knew. I could come in useful. I mean, if that's all right with you, Mr. Thompson. Sir.
I hesitate to part ways with Miss Holcomb, but I cannot deny that she is talented and may prove useful to you. You will need an administrative passcode in order to enter the plant. I am trusting you with mine, and trusting Miss Holcomb to guide you if you'd like.
Great! I got my wrenches and diagnosticators and hairpins and engine tape, so I'm all set.
Well, I am glad to hear that. Best of luck to you, and thank you again for your help. It is a lot to ask of a stranger, I know. If you could see your way to getting us our power back, I'd appreciate it. Go ahead. It is my job to keep two eyes on my town. I am the steward of this place, and this is my watch post. I'm trying to remember 25 years, 26. When you get to my age, the years just rush by. You stop counting altogether. I remember looking out this window and seeing the veils spread out from horizon to horizon. We were a sprawling town. We were booming. Times change, people change, but the veil will always be here. Spacer's choice will always be here. Our work won't ever end. I take comfort in that. This is a Spacer's Choice town. We're all part of the Spacer's Choice family here. The company keeps us warm, keeps us fed, keeps us working. Loyalty's got nothing to do with it, friend. This is good old-fashioned gratitude. I wish you wouldn't say things like that. Yes, as a matter of fact. When I stand at my window and look out over my town, here's what I see. I see decent, loyal, hard-working people. I see a family. We are all part of the Spacer's Choice family. We are all doing what we were brought into this world to do. Go ahead. Adelaide was our only flavor specialist. We are a Saltuna canning institution. Saltuna without flavor is like a cysty pig without tumors, borderline inedible. Were it up to me, friend, I'd stack our larders with Saltuna galore. No other brand of Saltuna adds as much vim or vigor to the body's humors. But, and this is something we must keep between the two of us, Saltuna is hard to come by. What with being a species indigenous to the seas of another world. Oh, we've scavenged together some organic material from the surrounding environs. Mostly organic, mostly local mushrooms. Some of which possess a texture akin to a well-boiled slab of Saltuna. The difference is all but impossible to detect to any but the prissiest of palate. Go ahead. Can we not? Talking about unpleasant things always gets my bile up. That I cannot say. There was no moment when the plagues began. Disease always lurks on the fringes of society, waiting to infect the idle and the lethargic. But in the last 10 years, the plagues have become progressively worse and increasingly frequent. Corporate doesn't like us using the word should. It encourages the imagination. I believe plague is a test. It is a test of our loyalty and our fortitude, and it is one we will see through to the end. If I had enough medicine to treat everyone who fell sick, I would, but I don't. I can't save everyone. So I have to choose. It is not easy for me, and the moment it becomes easy is the moment I am no longer fit to serve. Spacer's Choice is a family, and the survival of the family is more important than the survival of the individual.
Not gonna work. On my way. Hey, mister, can we talk? Sorry. Can we talk? Sorry. You just want to get out of here. And you likely don't want to tag along like me. It's just, Mr. Thompson has his own view on matters, on account of it's his job and what all, but that's not the only side of the tale. To Mr. Thompson, a person's a gear. It does its job quiet-like. If it squeaks or stutters, it gets replaced. The deserters are decent folk. I knew some of them before they left. Life's hard here. Especially for them that don't fit in so well. We're one big Spacer's Choice family, but every family's got the one the rest whisper about. Mr. Thompson's aiming to take away their power. They'll have no lights to see, nor heat to cook. They'll be at the mercy of marauders, or worse. I think you should talk to the town's vicar about it. Max, his name is. About if what Mr. Thompson proposes to do is upright. Leaving Miss McDevitt's folk to their fate. Their neighbors. Kin. And maybe he can think of something else to try. Something we ain't. He used to go walking outside town. Maybe he found something that'll help. It's just an idea. That's all. Books are for rich folk. I wonder what he wants with something like that. Thanks, mister. I just think when you gotta make a decision that'll hurt somebody, it's best to think on the right and wrong of it. That's what my dad used to say anyways. I've always felt weird in here. It's too clean.
I'll meet you on the ship when you're ready to depart from Emerald Vale, Captain.
What? I thought you would talk to him.
You wanted to speak to me, Ms. Holcomb? Every time I've tried to engage you in conversation, you look at the floor, answer in single words, and slink away. I can't imagine what would be so grave as to drive her to my mission. What has Mr. Thompson asked you to do? Depriving them of safety from the marauders and wildlife. I can see why that troubles you. Miss Holcomb has a soft heart. Always has, if you believe the talk. Assuming your goal is to save as many as possible, then you should bring everyone together. Send the power to Edgewater and convince the deserters to return to the fold. Not if things are left to stand as they are.
along, stranger. We don't want any trouble. I don't know you. Whatever you're looking for, it ain't here. Move along. Answers, huh? You must be one of those philosophicals. Already got ourselves one of those. A geo what? Look, plants ain't my purview. You're better off asking after Adelaide. If you're gonna start wandering around my camp, know that I got my sights on ya. Over in the hothouse, tending crop. Enough with the questions. No offense, but I've got a lot on my mind. Explains why you're still yammering on at me. No, I'm sorry. That was unworthy of me. Lady named Zoe went missing some nights ago. Just up and vanished without a trace. Now I'm pacing around wondering if marauders got to her. It's not like Zoe to go wandering. Figured she might be out scavenging, but that ain't exactly her talent. Can't imagine where she's gone. Vale's a wide place. She could be anywhere. Appreciate it. Honest. I'll tell you what I can. Vex me. If she told anybody, they ain't telling me. I'd check her room, but I got yelled at for snooping once already. Little ways ago. She was always obsessing over her serial dramas. Wanted to see what the fuss was about. Could be. Dangers aplenty out there. No telling why marauders would steal somebody like Zoe. Got no useful skill as far as I can tell. Marauder gang just moved into the districts a little ways east. Their numbers are growing. Gotta come from somewhere. Well, enough to know we never got on. Zoe and Stefan were close. If anybody knows the workings of her mind, he does. She was lazy and thoughtless, but she's still one of our own. What is it?
Keep your wits about you, friend.
You hungry? We got canid ribs, canid flank, canid snout too. Something I can help you with? You mean Zoe? Yeah, we were pretty close. Not like her to go loping off. Zoe and I were gonna watch the serials, as is our custom. She never turned up. I looked around, but she was nowhere to be found. You sound like some type of corporate fixer asking all these questions. Zoe was always obsessed with this serial. Masked Marketeer. A scion of Byzantium turns to banditry and teaches his marauder companions the wisdom of free market economics. Shame she up and vanished when she did. I had a surprise lined up for her. The other day, I got my hands on a genuine copy of the latest Masked Marketeer. I was gonna surprise Zoe with it, but she was gone the next day. Can't say I recall Zoe ever acting strange. Well, except for her habit of writing things down on scraps of paper. She called it journaling, but I think it's just plain odd. Hey, I got time. I'll help if I can. Hey, I got time. Fresh off the limb, and that includes canid meat.
was quick. I don't know anybody who ever came out this far. Stand and deliver! Always wanted to see
что же бы такое разобрать? Шмотки мало весит. И здесь всякого. И здесь всякого тоже не должно много весить. Так, это все для заданий. 50, 0,10, 1. Вот это надо выбросить нафиг. Но. Так, подруга. Я не понял. Ты же должна мне давать дополнительный вес. Все, дает. Опять. Ладно. Опять ждать. Пока это пройдет. Пушки. И тебя мы разберем. Ну, отпускай. Здорово. Ого, всех порешал, как великий герой, математик, волшебника. Научи также, а? Ты, Зои? Твои тебя ищут. Ты про то сборище неприкаянных любителей природы под предводительством Аделаиды? Для меня не пустое место. А вот ты, на тебе любо-дорого смотреть. С такими навыками, даже с половиной. Я бы стала самой лихой бандиткой на всем побережье. Я хочу у тебя кое-что уточнить. Тебя держат в плену? Что? Нет. Им навязалось, чтоб ты знал. И они были нисколечко не против. Вот это да. Как ты умудрилась? Возможно, я подкатила к им пару коробок Адриантайма, но это не точно. И вообще никак не связано. Как ты до сих пор не погибла? Я не знаю. Процессы, которые делают возможным чудо под названием «жизнь», загадочны и непостижимы. А ты имеешь в виду, как меня не убили мародеры? Они меня не тронут. Я у них в фаворе. Может даже сказать, я их королева. Наградила меня мама харизмой. Да. Почему ты ушла из лагеря? Меня выкинули из Джодера за то, что я поддалась эпидемии, а потом наворовала себе лекарства. До меня дошли слухи, что в ботанической лаборатории обосновались бандиты. Вот я решила примкнуть с ним. Всегда мечтала стать бандиткой. Прихожу я, а тут просто бывшие работники вокруг теплицы просто ждут. Ну, не возвращаться же на завод. Пришлось остаться с ними. Еще пару вопросов. Меня попросили тебя найти. Зачем? Аделаиде срочно нужен садовник? Спасибо, но мне тут хорошо. Никуда я не пойду. Возвращайся. За тебя волнуются. Это вряд ли. В лагере всем на меня было в целом наплевать. Как же Стефан? А, вот давай вот такой. Хочешь сказать, что у него есть эпизод Маркеторро? Что же ты раньше молчал? Ладно, соберу вещи и пойду назад. Грейс будет на меня смотреть волком. Жду не дождусь. Всего хорошего. Так, вроде как все залутал. Тут двери ведь не открываются. Нет. Значит, на этом все. Так, назад в ботанический сад и обрубать им электричество. Чао. Я уговорил Зою вернуться. Мы не всегда хорошо ладили, но я рада, что она в порядке. А что случилось-то? Я так понял, она хотела быть вне закона. Думаю, лучше без лишних подробностей. По сути, ты сделал мою работу. Думаю, я должна заплатить тебе за труды. Если я могу что-то для тебя сделать, скажи. Всего доброго. Опа, очки. Так, 4 общения. Чутка меди. Сумма. И... незаметность. Так, по способностям что у нас? Крит, напарников, броня, боеприпасы, износ, грузоподъемность, скорость хранения. Угу. Вот максимум шкалы. Хочу. Что ж, Грейс, готовься. Скоро вы останетесь без электричества, скорее всего. Если ты голодный, снаружи жарится мясо. Если болен, ложись отдохни, а я принесу компресс. Если у тебя что-то не заладилось в Джотере, забудь его, и мы примем тебя с распростертыми объятиями. Хочешь что-нибудь спросить, солнце? Вы, наверное, Адвайд? Да, и так меня тоже звали. А еще зеленая рука, бабушка. Странная старуха с цветками, но Адвайда тоже пойдет. Извините, мисс Маргарит, простите, пожалуйста, у вас тут такие красивые деревья. Спасибо, вы ведь дочка Роберта, верно? Я помню вас еще маленьким побегом. Томас часто вас вспоминает. Ты задержишься? Тогда обязательно попробуй чай из табакурузы. Он заварен старой привательницей, но не бойся, я ее помыл. Это ваша теплица? Нет, солнце. Сад принадлежит всем и каждому. Жизнь есть дар Вселенной, и Вселенная в равной мере осыпает нас своими богатствами, ибо она лишена всяких предрассудков. Удивительно, что вам удалось что-то вырастить. Почва Мердегейл прокисла много лет назад, но я нашла способ, как ее восстановить. Мой тайный рецепт прост. Труд, любовь и щедрая порция особого удобрения. Я смотрю, вы тут удобно расположились. Здесь найдет приют всякий, кто отвернулся от Эджуотера. Всякий, кому некуда идти и нечего терять. Мы постелили новые ковни, точно сорванные порывом ветра пушинки одуванчика. Почему вы покинули город? О, это не очень приятная история, солнце. Если вкратце, то порой ты просыпаешься и понимаешь, что место, которое не так долго было тебе домом, стало иным. Дом, где мы жили, предал нас, а значит, пришло время найти новый дом. И это все, что я готова тебе рассказать. Меня прислал Рид, он предлагает мир. Или Топсон, тебя прислал этот змей. Что ж, говори, что Рид понимает под миром? Что-то на тему, если вы вернетесь в город или останетесь без электричества. Я особо не слушал. Не могу тебя упрекнуть. Речь Рида отличная снотворная. Какое герметичное, надежно законсервированное предложение мира. Точь в точь, как и все, что порождает Эджуотер. Моим людям отлично здесь живется. У нас все хорошо. Рид попросил меня отвести мощность, которую вы используете, к заводу. Он говорит что-то о геотермальной электростанции. Это очень на него похоже. Но зачем идти у него на поводу? В вашем лагере есть регулятор мощности. Он нужен для ремонта корабля. На заводе тоже есть регулятор. Если тебе нужны детали для корабля, так забирай до завода, а нас оставь в покое. Если собираешься на электростанцию, отключи Эджуотер и направь всю мощность нам. Только подумай, ты освободишь целый город от вечного служения этому отвратительному заводу. Этот поступок достойный героя. Ну, если я отключу завод, то что они жрать будут? такой-то вариант. Что же, если тебе нет никакой разницы, то перенаправь питание к нашему лагерю и забери нужные средства с обеспеченного завода. Что вы имеете против города? Ты ведь сам видел этот городишко. Несчастные, изнеможенные люди отдают свою жизнь заводу, выживают на жалкие крохи, которые выделяет им просто космос. Но он дает им лекарства хотя бы. Вы ведь знаете, что это так, верно, мисс Хоком? Ваш отец сгорел на работе, сердце не выдержало. Да, он сильно уставал, но он был стар, мэм. Еще он ведь меня один растил. Только посмотри, что они сделали с этим ребенком. Компания отняла у нее семью, но она все равно готова ее защищать. Что вы имеете против простых горожан, которые пытаются заработать себе на жизнь? Разве это так похоже на жизнь? Обитатели города продались просто космосу. Теперь они принадлежат компании. Их тело, их плоть и кровь. Ты ведь там был. Ты сам знаешь все это. Все эти люди только и делают, что гнут спину на заводе. Они отдают жизни бессердечной корпорации, после чего отправляются на фирменное кладбище просто космос. Допустим, я помогу вам. Что тогда будет с Эджуотером? Жизнь у Джоудэри остановится, завод закроется, рабочие будут уходить целыми толпами. Но скромный лагерь станет расти. Вы думаете, что Рид просто хочет вам досадить? Если ты перенаправишь электричество в город, для нас это верная смерть. И Рид это знает. Он рассчитывает на это. Я подумаю. Я верю, что ты прислушаешься к голосу совести. Знал бы я, кто и сколько мне заплатит. Что у вас есть интересного? Что-то я нашел, еще одно шоковое ружье. Угу. Полицейский шлем, медицина, 6 брони. Мне пока мой нравится. Угу. Там находится электростанция. Что же, я думаю, на этом моменте можно закончить. Спасибо всем, кто досмотрел видео до конца, и до следующей серии.